Look, I am so sorry. I thought that I did the review for episode 8 and I did not. So today's video will be episode 8 and 9 for the Traitors. Okay, this is where we are right now. Okay, we got all these people up top banished. Danielle is the last traitor standing, which in the beginning, I didn't see it coming, right? In the beginning, her and Carolyn were both like just red flags for me as being traitors because they're just so all over the place. But I feel like in retrospect, Danielle actually had a good strategy, even when she voted for the other traitors, right? It kind of helped her not look like as much of a traitor, or at least not more than Carolyn. But it seems like everybody was happy for Carolyn. So we're gonna just recap this real quick because I just want to hit a couple of points from episode 8 that's titled "A Bee is Lying." Okay, because this was the cliffhanger for the murder face to face. That's something that they did. I'm not sure if they did that any other season or whatever, but they had to murder some people face to face, and the next morning at breakfast is when obviously everybody found out who got murdered. But Carolyn almost got caught up because somebody asked her, well, if you saw him face to face, what was Alan wearing? Because the only people that would have seen Alan was the people who he told did not get murdered, right? And so Carolyn was stuck, and she was fumbling over that. But in episode 8, it was revealed that Chrishell got the axe, so we added her to the people that were murdered, all right? And then, so that mission they had to do, they had to break up into 2 teams, and one had to be in a castle and one had to go out into the woods, and they had to like go into this dollhouse and call back to regurgitate the lullaby backwards, and then the people at the house had to figure out what the lullaby was. And sometimes it was nothing, and other times they ended up getting it right though. They ended up getting I think they ended up getting the whole 20K for that. So then at the round table in episode 8, they all voted for Ciara, which means they put another faithful out. All right, then they left us with another cliffhanger of Carolyn and Danielle arguing in the turret. Like, they cannot get along. Carolyn was not trying to let Britney in, and of course Danielle is trying to get Britney in. But then it's like, y'all didn't even like each other when y'all first got here. Now you want to get her to be a traitor, and Britney was crying because she thought Danielle might get murdered. It was just a mess, okay? So the last time in episode 8, they left us with that cliffhanger. And so they pick back up with Danielle and Carolyn arguing and not being able to agree on what to do again, all right? Carolyn doesn't want to add a traitor. So they decide to murder. Now, see, the thing about this part in the game is it's risky to add a traitor this late in the game, which I know they probably always have that option, but I think they always get that opportunity each season. But it's as the group gets smaller, it's more obvious, right? And so my thought is, if they did add somebody, Dylan would have been the perfect person to add because everybody believes he's a faithful and they think the women are traitors. However, the person they asked has to agree to do it as well. So, but anyway, they didn't go that route. They decided to murder somebody and they disagreed on that. All right. So the next morning we find out that they agreed to murder Sam. All right. And then Carolyn and Danielle keep arguing. It's just like crazy. They're gunning for each other. And so Dylan realizes that as the group gets smaller, someone he trusts has to be a traitor. So he's walking around talking to Gabby. He's walking around, just kind of seeing where everybody is. And that's when Danielle and Britney talked, and she found out that she was, she got emotional about Danielle possibly being murdered. So Danielle really wants Britney as a traitor, but like I said, I'm not sure about that because that's strategy. I don't know, because I feel like if she puts Britney as a traitor, she might get outed. I don't know how that's gonna work, but the people already believe that 2 women are traitors, right? And Carolyn and Danielle's name was already coming up, and so yeah. But who do y'all think would have been a good traitor to add? All right, even though, like I said, it's the worst time to add another woman, Ivar would have been perfect in my mind because nobody is gonna suspect him. he has already proven himself as a faithful. That would have been perfect, right? So the next mission was called Human Chess. And Poverty and Kate from previous seasons showed up to like help with the game. They basically just sat on the chairs. They read the questions or whatever, but they just sat in their thrones and drank wine and made commentary about the people. But the mission was the traitors were asked questions the night before about the game players, right? So at this mission, they had to hear the question and try to think like a traitor and pick the answer that the traitors put. Obviously, Carolyn and not Britney, Carolyn and Danielle should not have been getting any answers right, really. But Carolyn really, really exposed herself. All right, she just could not shut up. And Dylan is now suspecting her. He kind of just stood back and just watched as she messed up, basically. So she just put a target on her back with that. So she put herself on everybody's radar. Dylan's walking around talking to everybody about it. And so then we have the round table. And Ivar kicks it off, like I said, talking about there are 2 women left as traitors. And so that was completely shut down because Carolyn goes at Danielle. And she really wasn't prepared, so I don't know why she did it like this, but Carolyn goes at Danielle, and they go back and forth, both laying a case for the other being a traitor, okay? So they ended up voting Carolyn out. They got a traitor, right? Basically, Carolyn went home because she lost the argument. She wasn't prepared to go toe-to-toe with Danielle at that round table. And Danielle is like, I don't know. I'm just looking back at her gameplay now and just like, she kind of did better than I thought she would have. I didn't think she would last this long. But Danielle's reaction was crazy. Did y'all see? Look, I had to get a screenshot. I had to get a screenshot of Danielle after Carolyn revealed that she was a traitor. Like, Danielle is really going for the Oscar here, okay? And I just can't help but to think about how they're going to feel when they watch this back. So, but then the other thing I'm thinking about is most of the fire and smoke at the round table is usually between the traitors. It's been like that since Bob the drag queen and Rob. And then it's just crazy. So Danielle, I don't know. But what happens is Danielle gets an opportunity to add somebody as a traitor, and of course she picks Britney. Now, obviously they left us on another cliffhanger, so we don't know, but what do y'all think about that? Like, I don't think that was a good strategic move because Danielle already has a target on her back with some people, and then for a person to once be a faithful, everybody believes that they're faithful, and then they have to move as a traitor. Like, I would be like, oh my God, right? So anyway, do y'all think that Britney's gonna accept, or is she gonna leave? I want to know. I know I was late on the review for episode 8, but here we are. It's almost the end. I think they have one more. I feel like they got one more. It's really close to the traitor winning it all. So it really, we'll see what happens. But anyway, get in the comments below. Let me know what you thought. I know a lot of people weren't really liking this season or this show because of the premise of the whole thing. And when you start to really think about the people who are participating in it, like, I could be a faithful, but I don't know if I could be a traitor. Just the whole simple fact of having a lot of people and then do all of that and then watch it back. Like, I don't know. I know it's a game, but I don't know. They pretty much just lie to each other's face. So what are your thoughts? I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.